Tell me, how frustrating is this? You're working on a program where you need to read some data from a file. In your code, you tell Python to open the data file in read mode. But when you run the code, Python can't seem to find the file. Ugh, why is that? Clearly there is a file named data.txt in our project. To understand why, we need to think about how files are stored on a computer. When we save a file, we give it an address, a location on our computer where it will live. That address is what's called a file path. A file path lists every folder we need to open to get to that file, starting from the root of our file system. Back in VS Code, if we hover over data.txt in the sidebar, we can see what that full path looks like. A path like this, that starts at the root and maps the complete route to the file, is called an absolute path. On Windows, absolute paths start with a drive letter, followed by a colon and a backslash. On Mac and Linux, they start with a single /. The file path we passed to the open function was just data.txt. Data.txt is only a fragment of that full address, so it doesn't match the full location Python needs to find the file. To fix this, we can replace data.txt with the full absolute path. To get the absolute path in VS Code, we can right-click on the file and copy the path. Then we paste it into our code. On Windows, it's important to specify the path as a raw string by writing an R before the opening quote. If you're on Mac or Linux, you don't need to do this. If you want to learn why, check out our video on R strings linked in the description. Running the code, we no longer get an error, but our output window is blank. To see the contents of the data.txt file, we need to save the file connection returned by the open function to a variable. Then we need to read the contents of the file and print them. Running the code again, we get the contents of data.txt. Because the absolute path spells out the full address from the root of our file system, Python knows exactly where to find the file. That's great, but there's an important downside to absolute paths. An absolute path is hard-coded to one specific location on one specific machine. This means that if we share the script with our friend Alex, and they try to run it, the path will break on their machine. That's because their username is different, and their folder structure probably doesn't match ours. Luckily, there's a more flexible way to specify paths. Python doesn't always need the full absolute path to find a file. For example, instead of the full absolute path, we can just write myproject/data.txt. A path that specifies only part of the full address is called a relative path. Running the code again, it works. Because myproject/data.txt doesn't include our username or anything else tied to our specific machine, it's much more portable. But this relative path raises a question. We started this video with just data.txt in our code. That's also a fragment of the absolute path. So why does it fail? It's because when Python sees a relative path, like data.txt, it doesn't search the whole computer for that file. Instead, Python takes that relative path and combines it with a given starting point to build the full address to search for. The starting point used is called the current working directory, or CWD. To see what our current working directory is, we can import the OS module, call its getCurrentWorkingDirectory function, and print the result. Before we run the program, let's comment out the file reading code for now. Running the code, we get that our current working directory is the code folder. So when we wrote data.txt as the file path, Python looked for data.txt directly inside the code folder. But there's no data.txt directly inside of the code folder. Data.txt lives inside my project, not at the top level. That's why the data.text path was invalid. However, when we wrote myproject/data.text, Python combined that with the code folder, creating a full path that does exist. That's why this path worked, while data.text didn't. So, if we wanted data.text to work on its own, we'd need Python to start looking inside the My Project folder instead of the code folder. This requires us to change the current working directory to the My Project folder. When we use the VS Code Run button, the current working directory is always set to the code folder. To change it, we need to run the script from the terminal instead. To move into the My Project folder from the terminal, we write cd for change directory, followed by the folder's name. Now that current working directory is My Project, let's reset our program to its original state so we can run it from the terminal. We can run our analysis.py program from the terminal using the command python, analysis.py. Pressing enter, it works. We get the contents of data.text. Since the current working directory is now My Project, Python found data.text exactly where we said it would be. Okay, so running the program from the right folder does fix the error, but it's easy to forget. And anyone else who runs this code would need to do the same. What we really need is a path that works no matter where our program is run from. Fortunately, Python has a built-in variable called double_file that will help us solve this problem. The double_file variable holds the full path to the script that's currently running, similar to an absolute path. But, unlike an absolute path, the double_file variable is set automatically each time the script runs, always pointing to wherever it lives on your computer. Since double_file always points to the script itself, we can use it as a reliable anchor to build the path to data.text. To see how this works, let's make a few changes to analysis.py. First, let's comment out the file reading code, and simply print the double_file variable to confirm that it contains the path to our current file. Yep, that's the path. Now to build the path to the data.text file, we'll use the path to analysis.py as an anchor. To do that, we need to access the parent folder of analysis.py, My Project, from the double_file variable. We can separate out just the path to the parent directory using the OS module's os.path.dirname function. This function takes a path, in this example double_file, and returns just the directory part of it. This will be the path to the My Project folder. To confirm, let's quickly print it. Great, that's the path. For future use, we can store that path in a variable called project_dir. Next, we'll use the variable to build the full path to data.text. To do that, we use os.path.join. This function takes any number of path pieces, here the path stored in project_dir, and the file name data.text, and joins them together into a single valid path. This is the recommended way to create paths, since it ensures the paths work on all operating systems. To make sure this produces the path we expect, let's store it in a data path variable and print it. Running the code, we indeed get the full path to data.text. Finally, to open and read the data file, let's uncomment our existing code and change the path to data path. Now when we run the program from the code current working directory, using the Run button, it works. If we move to the terminal and run the code from the My Project folder, it also works. And finally, if our friend Alex runs the same program on their computer, it works without any changes. Awesome! By using the double_file variable, we've created a path to our data file that is not tied to the current working directory. If you want to go deeper on paths, Python also has a dedicated module called Pathlib. When we make a video on that, we'll link it in the description. If you'd like to practice what you've learned in this video, check out the notebook we created. The link is in the description. We're working on lots more Python explainer videos like this one, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like to learn about, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching!